Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, salam, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to MACFEST 2026, to one of the events for the Calligraphy and Arts Festival, but also the Youth Festival. So thank you so much to everybody who's joining us today to support the young artists, future creative people, the next generation of perhaps award-winning Muslim artists. Our host for today is Graham Gordon. He's a teacher, youth worker, and careers advisor at Eden Girls Academy. He has a training company, Fit Limited, which brings together people from different communities to gain employability skills and gain employment together. He's also the careers advisor, and he's involved in over 30 initiatives in Greater Manchester, which include a partnership with the Princess Trust, with which he's been involved with for many years, and where he's the longest serving partner in the country, coordinating Judaism for schools, serving as a Jewish community representative on Rochdale Sacre. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, and serving on the executive of the Muslim Jewish Forum of Manchester. And our special guest for today is Samir Malik. You might remember Samir from our previous event with award-winning Muslim artists. If you have missed that event, it will be the recording will be soon on MACFEST YouTube. And the award-winning Muslim artists are the ones who won the first Muslim Arts Awards on MACFEST. We've got another round open at the moment. If you are 18 years or over, or you will be 18 in August this year, you're eligible to apply. The application is free. You just go on MACFEST website, Arts Awards page, and you submit your images there, and you complete an easy Google form. So please do that. If you know any Muslim artists who could apply, let them know. Okay, so welcome everybody, and over to you, Graham.
Hi. Hi. Hey. Nice to see you. Welcome everybody to this year's Youth Arts panel of MACFEST. It's really is an honour and a privilege to host. I did it last year, and I'm delighted to be asked to do it again this year. And really look forward to it. I'm just looking at the chats here. It is always a privilege to be involved in things in our Muslim community. There's a very vibrant community, a very active community, very creative community, and it's a community, say, which I enjoy working with and being with tremendously. I also like to welcome our special guest, Samir Malik. Really nice. Samir Malik. Confused yourself there, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from him later. Okay, so we have students, and really good students, just want to check they're all here, yeah, from two schools. Firstly, my school, Eden Girls Leadership Academy, which is by far the best school I've ever worked in. It's an absolutely fantastic school, and I'm absolutely sure the Islamic Grammar School for Girls is equally fantastic. So we're going to start off, as I say, we've got some first-class artists this evening from both schools. We're going to start off with Ayesha Kashif, and she is going to talk through and introduce the paintings that she has done. Okay, you ready for us, Ayesha?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So the paintings will appear on the screen, and then you can talk us through.
So this first painting, I wanted to represent people's inner struggles and how on the outside, complex and looks almost like a phantom of what people are really feeling. I did a true self,
Ayesha, you're coming you're coming in and out
which
of.
contrasts.
Ayesha, can you hear me? It's something wrong with your sound. It's intermittent.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure what.
I-
Okay, if
It is possible that the internet is not supporting fully the transmission. If you try switching off your camera, it might be that there will be no interruptions.
you can try that, Ayesha, please.
Try. Could you repeat that?
But Ayesha, it's suggestion if you turn off your camera, it may improve the sound. Yeah.
It's in, yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, have a try. You were starting to tell us, which is really interesting, about this painting represents people's inner struggles. And then you cut out. If you can tell us a little bit more.
I wanted to use the bright blues and greens of the centerpiece, which is like uh, um, what you show on the outside, and use it as a mirror, which is completely different to the background. And these black hands reaching in to disrupt the calm atmosphere, to to symbolize intrusive thoughts and the emotional struggles.
Oh, that's really good. I like that. We certainly get the gist of it. That's really good. I think you've cut out again, but we get the gist of it, and I really like it. It's a really nice painting, and it's has really a huge impact. If we can try things, if we can put, someone just asked your name. It's Ayesha Kashif. Okay, so that one of the our audience has asked. So this is Ayesha Kashif from Eden Girls Leadership Academy, with the emphasis being on the word leadership. If we can put up the second painting, please, Ayesha's second painting, and hopefully we'll be able to hear from her. Okay. Ayesha, do you want to talk us through? Can you hear us, Ayesha? Okay, it's clear poor Ayesha's clearly been having problems with her transmission this evening, but we've seen two really good paintings and a really clear and interesting explanation for the first one. Maybe what we can, we will try. Ayesha, are you there? Okay, we'll try once more. We will come back to Ayesha to see if she can talk us through the second painting. In the meantime, if we go on, please, to Shanum Inayat, who's our second outstanding student from Eden Girls Leadership Academy. So if we can look at, please, at Shannon's first painting, and if you can please, Shanum, rather, talk us through it.
Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shanum Inayat, and I am in Year 9 at Eden Girls Leadership Academy, Manchester. Today I'm here to express the strong feelings I associate with art. The most interesting element of art is its extremely versatile nature. A piece of art, no matter how small, can have a plethora of differing perceptions, and that is what makes art for everyone. For some, it's a mere hobby. For some, it's something that simply appears aesthetically pleasing. But for some, it is a way of conveying what the tongue cannot speak and what the mind cannot put into mere sentences. Once the pencil touches the canvas, all the repressed emotions, thoughts, and views just pour out upon it. I, as a young artist, have found a safe place in art, where there is no such thing as bad or a mistake. What is perfect to me may be imperfect to you, and what is imperfect to me may be perfect to you. And that is the beauty of art, because it separates us through thoughts, yet it unites us through expression. Now, one example of this is my pencil sketch, which is meant to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. A piece that I've created to convey the suffocatingly uncomfortable and repetitive nature of anxiety. The bloodthirsty and malicious looking snakes that emerge from her head captures the painful and dangerous state of mind that overthinkers experience so often. The scribbles and disorganization around her head represents chaos and disorder. The extreme scars and injuries upon her accentuate the suffering that people like this endure, even if it may not be physically visible to anyone. There's an element of emotional exhaustion in her face from the looping of unwanted thoughts and emotions. She holds herself as she attempts to comfort herself due to the fear of burdening a loved one. Yet little does she know she should be the first loved one she avoids burdening. Now, on to my second piece. This is one of my works from the school where the task was graffiti and art, in which we had numerous themes to choose from, such as climate change and the effects of the internet. The theme I had chosen for this task was mental health. In this painting, I visibly used vibrant and uplifting colours for the flowers, and designs she is painting on herself to create a contrast to its monotonous background. I did this to reinforce the underlying and lurking dark and burdensome inner state that hides underneath a somewhat beautiful and cheerful image. You can see the despair and almost remorse she has for having the feeling that she's obliged to bottle up her emotions and her true self for many reasons, such as the fear of becoming a weight on someone else's shoulders, or the fear that she may not be accepted or taken seriously because, well, no one is used to seeing that version of her. If you look closely, you can see her huge eye bags to indicate her exhaustion with maintaining this certain image that she strives to keep. The eyes that surround her emphasize the crushing pressure she feels to appear perfect. But is there really such thing as perfection? I made both paintings to embrace the vulnerability in such mental states and to inform the young people of our generation that they are not alone and are allowed to share their struggles with other people. For the future, I hope that more people will find themselves in art and their way of expression, whether it's painting, sculpting, or music. And I also hope that it gets easier for people to share their emotions, even if not necessarily through words. Thank you for listening.
That was absolutely excellent, ladies and gentlemen. That was Shanum Inayat from Eden Girls Leadership Academy. That was very good, very articulate, very well explained and described. Absolutely excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Can we just for a minute go back and see? I'm not sure we'll succeed, but let's have a try for a minute. If we can show, please, Ayesha's second painting, just to see if she is there. She's clearly having problems. This has happened all evening, but we can just put up her second painting, please. Right. Are you there, Ayesha? No, I don't think she is, but I saw her earlier today, and we did talk about these paintings, but I don't want to describe her own work. But one of the things that strikes me with this painting, it almost looks like a photograph. It's really quite powerful. Hopefully, she might be able to join us a little bit later to tell us more about it in her own words. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Our two amazing girls from Eden Girls Leadership Academy. And now we go to the equally fantastic Islamic Grammar School for Girls. And I'd like to introduce Allah, who's going to introduce her daughter Malak, as I say, from Manchester Islamic High School for Girls. And we really look forward to seeing your work.
Hello, do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm so proud to introduce and her amazing art, her work from the peaceful Northern Lights to the Japanese camellia to express her energy and powerful, and the colorful pop art also. Each piece tell a story, so I will let her to tell about her art. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. So we can have Malik's. There we go. That's an
do you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So, my name is Malak and I go to Manchester Islamic High School for Girls.
The first picture.
Sorry, wait, is it? Okay. I'm not 18. Can you go to the next picture?
Yeah.
So this one, I wanted to capture the striking. This one is. Wait, sorry. I don't see this is the artwork of the Northern Lights, and I wanted to capture the striking contrast between the cold serenity of the northern landscape and the vibrant energy of the aurora borealis. The composition uses vertical brushstrokes to stimulate the dancing light of the sky, which is mirrored in the icy reflection below. By framing the glowing horizon with dark silhouettes of evergreens and jagged peaks, I aim to evoke a sense of isolation and wonder, inviting the viewer to step into a moment of pure natural stillness. Can you go to the next one, please? This one is called The Essence of Tsubaki, and it's an illustrative study of the Camellia japonica, or Tsubaki, and it's a flower that's deeply rooted in Japanese culture and ritual. This piece combines delicate watercolor techniques with informative calligraphy to celebrate the plant's symbolism of longevity and divine endurance. I focused on the glossy leaf texture, the literal meaning of Tsubaki to showcase the plant's resilience, blooming even in the winter to signal the coming of spring. It's a tribute to nature's ability to find beauty in harsh conditions. You please go to the next one. This one is about pop art, and I explored the high energy aesthetic of the pop art movement using bold outlines and saturated color palette to create visual explosion. The piece incorporates classic comic book elements like onomatopoeia, like woo and pow, alongside playful everyday icons like pizza and sweets. My goal was to create a sense of movement and good layout with strong color, ensuring that every inch of this page feels alive and celebratory. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Malak. It was absolutely excellent, and I really liked, in particular, I liked huge variety in your pieces there. Really, really good. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, and I would just say to MACFEST to make sure that I have copies of these slides, please, because clearly they're going to be very valuable in the future. They're going to be like my insurance policy. Well done, girls. Very well done. Fantastic. We are really privileged this evening to have our guest of honour who I've only met this evening, but I've heard about him, so I'm really looking forward to what he has to say for us. After I read his bio, he's going to do a little presentation for us and maybe have a little bit of interactive discussion with us all. And I'll come back to three of you later before we finish, but I just want to stress again that really absolutely excellent work. Excellent work. Right. Okay. So Samir Malik, trained in classical Arabic calligraphy at Damascus University in Syria. He's been producing Islamic art as well as holding exhibitions and workshops for over 25 years at prominent galleries and universities globally. As an artist, calligrapher, and graphic designer, he's been commissioned by and worked with international organizations, including the Royal Albert Hall, A.R. Rahman, the Liverpool Arabic Arts Festival, Aspinall of London, Plough, Saudi Aramco, right, the British Asian Trust, NSF, HSBC, Amana, John Lewis Partnership, Burton Snowboards, Lloyd's TSB, Heavenly, Lippincott, St Mary's Hospital Trust, Meridian Institute, and the Royal Embassies of Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the UAE, as well as universities, galleries, schools, private clients, and businesses worldwide, including royalty. Being connected with the Prince's Trust, I'm really interested in which royalty you work with. He is the pioneer of the revival and reinvention of Islamic calligraphy in the West and is exhibited internationally. His art designs and photography have been featured in periodicals and books, alongside frequent appearances on television and online. His art forms part of the UK National Collection. Really look forward to seeing your presentation, Samir, and hearing from you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, great. I just want us to start by saying it's just after seeing the art from the three students, it's such an enormous privilege to be part of this panel. And I'm to be honest, really humbled by the artwork. It fills me with joy because all the artworks were trying to find or discover or explore our place in the world authentically with our emotions, and it was just is so touching, all of you. And thank you so much. I'll talk more about the artwork we saw afterwards, but let me just introduce myself. I think you've done a good job, Graham. Thank you. I'm just I've been doing art for over a quarter of a century. Before that, I wasn't allowed to do art, so I became a doctor, practiced medicine around Europe, and then gave it up, moved to Damascus, and studied at university there. And I've been doing it ever since. For my first lesson, I realized calligraphy is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I've been doing it. So I've just been on this journey of creating really, really bad art until, good art came along, developing my skills. And so I'm here today. I know a little bit more, but I know a little bit less about art, I would say. And so being an artist is always a challenge, and in a beautiful way. I welcome that challenge every day. So I work every day from my studio on commissions. And what can I say? I've been working. I've had the privilege of working with lots of students in schools over the last 25 years. I've worked in primary schools, secondary schools, and universities and groups. And one thing I love about working with students is I get to borrow some of inspiration from them, because students, when they're given that safe space to explore their art, they come up with amazing things. And so I've been doing that 25 years, developing my own skill. So what else can I say? Graham, any questions you have maybe about me and my art?
Yes, maybe something occurs to me, and I know you just mentioned before we started that you did actually do a workshop at Eden Girls, which is really nice. What kind of things are you exploring when you do school visits?
What I try and give, first of all, in school visits is a really safe space. I've learned that. I have the skill set because I've been doing it for so long. People say, you're so good at what you do. my reply is always, after a quarter of a century, if I wasn't good, I'd be in the wrong job. So, you know, I'm good at what I do, but to give others that safe space to explore, to do things imperfectly, to really kind of express themselves, find their authentic voice through their art, which I've seen in the artwork which the girls shared today. And then give people, you know, the students the tools, safe space, and just let them run with it. You know, let them explore, let them. I have strict rules when I'm teaching. The first rule is make mistakes, which we all know, you know, means we're learning. The second rule is ask questions, and the third rule is, you know, breathe. So, you know, sometimes when we're, you know, very stressed trying to do the perfect piece, we stop breathing, and I like to just like get everyone to maybe sing a song or breathe, you know. And when that's happening, when the safe space is there, really amazing things turn up in, you know, school visits. And I never know what's coming, and I love that. And I always get surprised, pleasantly, beautifully surprised by the artwork produced. Yeah. Sorry, does that answer your question?
Yes, very much. I like the concept of safe space.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. One of the things that just occurred to me is, I mean, you know this probably in your time as a teacher as well, that the job with students isn't to show them what to think, to show them how to think.
Absolutely.
So they can make informed choices. They can try things out authentically, and that is, you know, it's like I've learned over the years working with students and myself that sometimes when something appears to be a certain way, it can produce amazing results when we put our opinions to the side and let whatever's coming through come through. Yeah,
I agree with you entirely there. Excellent. Now you're going to, Samir, you're going to show us some of your artwork, yeah? So,
yes. So you get to see. So if we could put my slideshow on.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So this is typical of my work, you know, the bright colors, the form, the classical designs, or the classical art form, but reinterpreted in a very new way. When I finished university in Damascus 25 years ago, my teacher asked me, what are you going to do now? And I said, I want to go out there and reinvent calligraphy in the world forever, change it forever. And that's been my mission ever since. I've failed more times than I can mention, but I've actually achieved it as well by persevering. So if we go to the next page, please. So that's me standing out. I'm asked a little bit about myself. I mean, anybody who wants this, I'm happy to send, that through. So next slide, so we actually get to see some of my art. Those are the tools I classically use. They're handmade pens in the UK called automatic pens and bamboo reed pens. And what I typically work a lot with is just the color. I saw that in the pop art and also the last few pieces. The Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis stuff was fascinating for me because the way the color provided contrast and made you look deeply into a picture to try and work out what's going on, what have you missed. So we go to the next slide, please. There's a lot of slides, sorry. This is all typical of my work, so we'll shuffle through them. So lots of bright colors, form. When I first started having exhibitions, Arabs would come to my exhibition and say, Yani, it's very, very nice, but it's all wrong. And now I actually write letters for the ambassador from Bahrain and have been commissioned by the Saudi embassy a few times. So they obviously like my work in the meantime. It's only taken 2 decades, but better late than never. So classically, I use inks and those pens we saw earlier. So next slide, please. Okay, so we can just shuffle through. So once again, if we go to the next one, please. So so I do very, very classical work as well, but also try and reinterpret it, in a way that hasn't been seen before. So next slide. If we shuffle through, okay. So that's good. So you can see, just by viewing them, that what's important for me is getting the colors right. And I found that process comes naturally now. I know if I think too hard, it doesn't come out right. But if I let the colors come through me, let the art come through me, that's what happens a lot in my experience when I'm creating art now. Is I'll have an idea, I have the skill set, but the art will come through me rather than me creating the art, which many artists can, really relate to. So next one, please. All right, so you can see these are all typical. What they've done in the meantime, about 10 years ago, they officially named my style as Maliki style, named after me. So there's students all over the world studying this style now. So for the first 15 years, it was like not looked upon kindly, even though it's beautiful, but now it's acknowledged as a form of art, of calligraphy in the West from the classical Arabic forms. So if you go to any auction house and show them some of my pieces, they'll say, oh, this is typical Maliki style, which is for me an enormous privilege. It's like my legacy is sorted as an old man or older man. So next slide, please. So yeah, that on the left it says mother, and on the right it's the name of God, Al-Karim, and all very, very, that was part of my struggle, was how do I express this in a way that hasn't been seen before, but people can still relate to. And that's one thing I loved about the art we saw from the girls, is that we can relate to all of it. All of it touched and inspired and moved me and made me curious. And with all of them, the eyes wandered all around to try and work out which forms have I missed, or which forms are there, or what's happening exactly. And I can relate to all of it. And so that's what I try and do with my art, because I believe great art isn't necessarily technically brilliant, but we have to put a piece of ourselves into the artwork. And so any human being viewing the artwork can relate to it and find our common humanity within it. Next slide, please. So we shuffle through. So just carry next one again. So we're gonna keep going on. So I work canvas, paper, inks, acrylics, oils. So that's it. Keep going, please. So what took me a long, long time was getting into the digital works, because I love working. I love getting my hands messy with paints and inks and everything. So next again. So carry on shuffling through. These are all traditional works using inks or, boards, canvases, paper, acrylic, oils, woodwork there. I worked in collaboration with a few people. Yes, keep carrying on, keep carrying on. Keep going on, keep going on. Sorry, I've got tens of thousands of works that I've produced over the last 25 years, literally, because I love it. So being an artist is like breathing for me. If I'm not creating art, I don't feel alive. So then now we get, okay, that's more traditional again. So carry on. I introduced a lot of geometric work, but the geometric work came through mostly when I was working digital. Okay, his work I've worked in mosques, synagogues, and churches. I've had exhibitions in synagogues and churches and done about 9 mosques around Europe over the years. That's me when I was a bit younger, working on a mosque. My first mosque I ever worked on it for 4 months, doing various verses from the Quran on the ceiling. And it turned out really well. I was there last week for a funeral at the mosque, and it was really touching, moving to really see, oh wow, my work I did a decade ago, people come in and read it every single day. So can we move on, please? Next, let's see. Okay, that's more photos of the mosque. And next again. So I've done ceilings, I've done geometric artwork, clocks, designed clocks. So next one, please. Okay, now we're getting into digital realm. Now, it took me a long time to get into digital work because I didn't know how to make it work and make it be authentic and real as a human being. The same way that, real work with canvas or paperworks. So I experimented, explored, tried things out, and then something happened, and I realized that my humanity is being instilled on a digital realm as well. So we can go to the next slide, please. So I started experimenting a lot more with colors, using Photoshop. So I take photographs, calligraphies, geometries, scenes I've taken of walls, of sunsets, of everything, and combine them all together with Photoshop to create just this exploration. So next one, please. All right, so that's like the name of God. It means the grateful one. So we don't normally see God as being the one that should be grateful, but he is grateful because it's a quality that we can take on. But that wall was taken in Ealing in West London. The geometry was one I created for a school project, the calligraphy. So I combined lots of things together, and that made it an authentic human artwork for me. That I'd put in all elements, created all elements. So next one again, please. We can shuffle through them. So you can see that there's lots of experimentation going on, lots of playing with forms and colors. All this is Maliki style, named after me. The wonderful colors coming through. So I actually love working digitally now. That was for a film I did, Niall Hilton incident. So carry on shuffling through. So I take words or phrases or things that really touch, move, and inspire me, and try and create something through that. So the first step of every art process is feeling and really grappling and wrestling with what does that mean for me? And then I start playing, exploring, trying to create art really badly, but authentically. And then something comes through, and something beautiful comes through. Yeah, then I run with it. So if you can shuffle through again, please. So you can see lots of work with light and form and color. That's on banana paper, that last one. I dyed banana paper, and all the little flecks are there are just part of the banana paper. And I love that effect. So that's just light upon light. It looks like a night sky. And so just playing, exploring, playing is what it's about. So next one, please, again. Yeah, just carry on. The trouble I have is I take all these for granted now because I've been doing them for so many years. But it's always good to share. And that's a piece I did for a church. If you go back one, it was light. It was for a church in Greece. I was commissioned. It says light in Hebrew, in Aramaic, and in Arabic. So there's 3 pieces that went up, and I, just all fit together. Large pieces. I had to send them to Germany, and from there they were taken to Greece. But they're hanging in a church in Greece, and I'm amazed sometimes that my art's hanging everywhere around the world. I don't know how I got there, but I feel very, very lucky, privileged to be there. Okay, so we can move on, please. True. Somebody just mentioned every piece tells a story. It's so true. And that's when every artwork tells a story, like we were being told by the girls. And it's something we can relate to as human beings. That was designed for date boxes. That's, I did some posters that we sold to raise money for charity. That's part of it. My mum helped choose the quotes. So we sold, I think, 12,000 posters. So design worked for different corporations and companies, worked for some of the biggest companies in the world. And I always get shocked and amazed when people reach out. And I'm like, oh, of course, I'd be privileged. I'd be honored to do that. So can we move on, please? I don't want to take up too much time because I want to speak to the artists we saw earlier as well. So logo design, clothing. I designed fabrics, book covers, and posters, flyers, cards, different, CD covers, brochures. So I've been a busy boy. That was for Liverpool Football Club. I actually designed the Hiyam in Liverpool for the Yemeni community. So that was a nice commission quite a few years ago. And so if we move on, please. Yeah, baby grows and T-shirts and hoodies. That's me. I was a bit younger and less grey as I am today. And just working. I love working with people. I love working with groups. We can move on, please. I don't know what's left. Oh, school projects. I've worked the last 25 years with schools, and it's such an enormous privilege every time. That was one project. Year 6 designed 99 canvases to go in the entrance of a school in Slough. And we spent 6 weeks, and they did the whole process. They learned calligraphy, they learned painting, they learned how to work with canvases, and what they produced was just phenomenal. It's still hanging there today, and that was quite a few years ago. I think 10 years ago now. Yeah. And next one, please. Let's see. That's the kids working. I've done lots and lots of school projects. My favorite thing is to work with young kids who are just full of life, and when you give them, like we said, a safe space to explore, they produce really amazingly beautiful work. Okay, next one, please. And yeah, that's just, once again, school projects. So yeah, it's great. And that's me, a bit younger, a bit more handsome and less grey. But yeah, thank you for your patience while going through that. And so if we can come back to, are the artists who are there still on the call?
There are. I just yes, that was fantastic. Thanks. We need to move on, but yes, I'd like very much like to have a few minutes to talk to them. I just want to share with you, we have had, because as I said at the start, she's been very committed to the whole process. I have had a message from Ayesha. She's really sorry that her internet was having problems and it cut out completely. She's very much wanted to rejoin us. So she's still very much on board with everything. It's sadly just one of those things. But looking for the positive, it is good that she was able to explain quite clearly, albeit briefly, about her first painting. We saw her second painting, so she's still very much part of this evening.
Yeah. The first painting, they were both phenomenal for me. I loved that the first one, there's so much happening. And she talked about the inner feelings and how that contrast with, and we all know that as human beings. So I was absolutely so fascinated by that first piece. It just drew me in. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, I always know that I love a piece if I'd be prepared to buy it, and I'd buy that, I'd be like, yes, I'd buy that if I saw it on hanging somewhere. And the second one, which I didn't talk about very much, like you said, it was like a photo, but it told a story as well. All of the pieces told a story. So there's so much going on in the second piece that we can explore, and we kind of invent stories. So why is that? A person standing like that. Why can't we see their face? What's happening behind them? What's all on the shelves? And I love them. So Ayesha, really, really amazing work. Thank you. Thank you. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we had
Shanum.
Oh wow. It was like, I love how you described the whole process, because what you said actually mirrored what I was thinking. And I'm just amazed that year 8, 9, you're year 9, aren't you? Yeah. Girls are always just like much more emotionally intelligent than boys, but to have that whole process laid out is just phenomenal. I think you've got an amazing career as whatever you choose to do. If you want to go into medicine or become a lawyer or open a bakery or whatever you want to do, if you do art on the side, you'll always be successful, because you'll always touch, move, and inspire people. And it's like when you spoke about it, it mirrored a lot of, if I don't create art, I'm not exploring myself. I find who I am through creating art, and then doing it wrong, doing it badly, but then something comes out, I'm like, oh my God, I get to know more about who I am through my art. And I imagine you have the same or a similar process going on. And that's amazing, because normally artists get that when they're in their 30s or 40s, but you have it from the get-go. So you've got an amazing career ahead of you, whatever you choose to do. Phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing the art that you shared with us.
And last but not least, we've got Malak.
Malak, you know what? The Aurora Borealis piece was just, you can look at it for hours because there's so much going on. Even though there's not much in the picture, but there is so much. It was beautiful because there's layer upon layer. Was that a reflection on water? Or no, not really. Or it could be, is that a tunnel? I find myself inventing stories in my, head. And that's what great art is about, that I try to find how I can relate to it. And it was phenomenal. And then the next piece was equally as but what I loved is that you finished in pop art, because pop art tries to purify everything, simplify it, so we can relate to it on a really beautiful, simple, core level. And it was phenomenal. It was great. I teach pop art a lot in schools, and you nailed it. You got it. I know a lot of pop artists who do Islamic art as well. My cousin, she actually did graffiti style pop art for the first ever Islam Expo many years ago. She wrote Muslim in Arabic with the British flag incorporated in pop art style. And ever since then, I love it. So it's phenomenal. Thank you, Malak. Yeah. Well, and I'm glad you got a good voice. Use it, yeah, because your voice will work wonders in the world. And share your art, all of you. Great.
All I need to do now is just endorse everything Samir has said. Okay, we do need to finish in a minute. I just want to give a chance to anybody in our audience. Does anybody want to share something that's particularly something particularly occurs to them about this evening?
I would like to ask a question. Well, I've got a couple of questions, but let's see how much time we have. To Samir,
Yes.
I would like to take your question from our previous event that you asked to our award-winning Muslim artists. The
Yes.
message, what would you tell your younger self? But
Yes.
also, we would like to know, if possible, what would you say to the artists or creative people who have some kind of creative block or are struggling to find their voice?
Okay.
Is there anything you
Wow.
could...
Great questions. The first question, what would I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
Don't take myself too seriously.
Mhm.
When we start out, we're really, really important. We're going to change the world. But actually, it's not. But nothing's about me. I'm just I'm wandering through life, doing art and meeting amazing people, making amazing experiences. And it's not about me. It's lovely. It's like, that's the first thing I tell myself. Don't make it about yourself ever. And what was the second question again? Sorry.
Yeah, maybe advice or a message to those with creative block or
Okay.
those who are struggling to find their voice.
An amazing photographer friend of mine from Germany told me there's no such thing as creative block. You can get a butcher's block. Creative block is not. So when you're an artist, you've got to meet the paper or the canvas every day. And one of the best courses I ever did was how to paint really badly, which freed up the pressure to create something amazing. So every day I will doodle sometimes with a pencil, or I'll get my inks out, or I'll get my paints out. I've actually, I don't know, I've got artwork that's half finished all around my studio. And it's on canvas, it's on paper, lots of it's digital. And so I'll visit it every day. So every day I'll spend at least an hour working on some art, even if I achieve very, very little. Because it's like the block comes when we think we've got to produce something amazing. But the point isn't to produce something amazing. The point is to just meet the paper, express yourself, find your authentic voice. And that will come when you keep trying. It will come. Your authentic voice will come. So like the artists we saw, just keep producing work, and then amazing things will turn up that will touch, move, and inspire people. Does that answer your question, Katina?
Absolutely, yes. I remember when we talked on the Arts Awards ceremony, you mentioned the book by Julia Cameron, Artist's
Yes.
Way. It's a 12-week program for any creative people and really everybody to just keep doing things, something every day to
every day, even if you doodle for 10
yourself.
minutes. Or just write your name or write something. Just do it. Meet it every day, and then the day will come when suddenly you'll be like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to spend the whole day doing it. I love it. And I've got to that place where if I'm not creating, I'm not alive. Creativity for me is like breathing. So if I don't create something for a week, I just get depressed. So I have to go out and kind of stroke my cat and greet the sun in the morning, and then it comes back, but doing a little bit every day.
Well, interestingly, when you ask that question, what you would tell your younger self to our award-winning artists, one of the questions, one of the answer was not to keep my art to myself, show it, don't be selfish, share it with the world. It was the same message that we had in the chat. And for that reason, I just wanted to say thank you to our students who are already talking about their work. It's really big.
It really is. You've got no idea how big it is. And it makes me so happy inside that, like, wow, you are pioneers who are going to change the world just by sharing your beautiful art, your authentic art, your real art.
So I also wanted to ask you something. When we met on the ceremony and you gifted me your beautiful scarf, colorful, I totally understand why you went for this one, just showing the colors, looking at the colors of your art. It kind of became a talisman for me. And I wanted to know if you've got any talismans as an artist or any kind of rituals, or how to make sure your inspiration doesn't run out.
Talisman-wise, I wear, I've got a Maria I wear around my neck, and a Zulfikar, it's a sword of Ali.
Oh, wow.
And hand of Fatima I picked up in Jerusalem. I always wear these. So the hand of Fatima is like the hand that guides everything. Zulfikar teaches us about knowing our place in God's universe. And the Holy Mother, everyone loves Mary. It's like, so these are things I wear, and I have the Zulfikar, my ring as well. I got that made specially. And so all these little things. But in my studio, let me just, if I turn the camera around, you can see it's filled with little toys and I can't turn the camera around, but there's like little toys, figures, little things that are just, really inspire me. So I've learned to surround myself with things that bring me joy. And then it becomes easy to create or explore or just be. And if anything doesn't bring me joy, I get rid of it. I pass it on, and so that's really, really important. I'm so happy that you're wearing the scarf because it really suits you. It's like made for you. I was just like somebody who carried it for a while, but then passed it on to you. But this is another thing. We have to know when to let go of things because they're home in somewhere else, and just go with the flow. And whatever is ours will find its way to us and enrich us, so we can actually just be who we are and create.
Very good point to end on. To those thorough answers. I really like that. You should get rid of things in your life that don't bring you joy.
Yes.
I like that very much. He going to put it on my coat as well. Okay, well, I think we've had an extremely interesting hour. Really, we've met. Well, we've actually met 4 artists, I think, all of equal caliber. As Sama said, our 3 girls that displayed their art this evening have huge potential, even if they pursue their art as a sideline. They have really huge potential for the future. And I'm very proud of all of them, very proud of our Eden girls, and very proud also, very nice to meet Malak, and very proud of the work that she did this evening. I think you've done MACFEST proud. And in conclusion, I want to thank everybody. A lot of work goes into these events so that they run smoothly and so that they are meaningful. And MACFEST, probably out of all the organisations I've worked with, it's the one that has the longest lead in time, which is probably very sensible because then everything does go like clockwork. And as I say, to remind you, Ayesha has messaged me that she's sorry that her internet cut out, but she's still very much part of this evening. And I think finally, MACFEST is a wonderful organisation, and I'd like to praise my dear friend Kesra, who actually started it. It really is a pleasure to be involved, and all being well, I'll be involved again next year. But I hope that you've all enjoyed it, and if you want to find out more about MACFEST, obviously you can go on their website. But thank you very much indeed for a very inspiring and interesting hour.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Samir, for being with us today. Thank you to our wonderful students, talented students. And Graham, thank you so much for your hosting, for holding the space. Before we finish, I just wanted to remind everybody that the Arts Awards process is open and we accept the submissions. The submission process is free. It goes through the MACFEST website. There is a button you click and you go through a really easy Google form and then you send us the images. And we do have a couple of events coming up on MACFEST. We've got, if you're based somewhere in the UK, you might want to come over for Manchester One City Many Voices. It's an evening event at the Manchester Central Library. You can read more about it on MACFEST Eventbrite. And we've got also Mughal Floral art workshops with Ashfia Ashrif in Didsbury Library tomorrow. And in terms of online events, we've got Eid celebration with multilingual mushaira and international poetry on Sunday at 3:30 UK time. And then Thursday, 21st of May at 6 o'clock in the evening UK time, we've got youth celebrating World Culture Day. And we've got more exciting opportunities for the artists. We've got Muslim Artists Network and several events coming up online. So please stay subscribed to MACFEST newsletter. And if you don't mind, we accept the donations, big and small, even £1 through MACFEST website. So thank you very much and see you again soon.
Thank you.